had 2 opportunities to fight me and it didn't happen. What was it? Because I didn't know about that. He said it was 2 opportunities.
Exactly. Nobody. What 2 opportunities did I had to fight him?
Yeah.
When he fought he's for Ebenezer too.
Yeah.
But I think he was in the middle of doing something with Earl at the time.
Yes.
And at that time, we all thought he was fighting Earl.
Yeah.
So we all everybody waiting around. The whole welterweight division was waiting around to see what he was going to do. And he popped up out of nowhere fighting David Ennis in December or something like that. People don't realize I didn't get the opportunity to fight for the IBF interim until after he made his decision. We was waiting. Right. We was waiting to see what he was going to do.
Right.
So people don't realize that. They said I seen somebody saying that I went a different route or something like that.
Yeah.
I only went that route because he chose Ebenezer. He could have clearly picked me.
Yeah. Do you respect him as like when he's like, yo, I'm on my last, I got a couple fights left. I'm at the end. I'm only trying to get mega fights. So, I don't know. Do you respect that or do you be like, nah,
I understand it, but don't lie or cap to the net and make it seem like I had the opportunity to fight you and I didn't. I never did. You know what I'm saying? And then that one time that I did, we said, they called. And we said, we never heard nothing else back about it.
Yeah.
So,
right.
I mean, I respect it, though. I mean, get your money. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. But don't be capping on the net, acting like this, acting like that. I mean, it's cool.
Look, Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Bud Crawford is making history, guys, and he's making a lot of news. There's a lot of buzz and hype about Terence Crawford right now. And not just because of his historic win over Canelo Alvarez, but look, even that, right? He defeated the best of the best, right? Probably one of the greatest fighters ever. Terence Bud Crawford beat Canelo Alvarez to secure and win the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. But now everybody's asking, who is next? What's next for Terence Crawford? Who's it going to be? Who's that special fighter, right? Now, there's talks about the possibility of Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis as a possible candidate to fight Terence Crawford. This is interesting, guys, because I was talking about, in my earlier videos, I was talking about Hamza Shiraz, who's an up-and-coming fighter from the UK. And he had a beautiful win over Edgar Berlanga not too long ago in New York City. And so there's been a lot of hype and talk about the possibility of him taking on Terence Crawford, or even Terence Crawford perhaps maybe moving weight divisions so he could find that perfect fight. Now, here's the thing with Terence Crawford. He's not the kind of guy that just wants to fight just anybody because, he has to fight somebody. He's the kind of guy that he wants to fight the best of the best. He's looking for the creme de la creme, the guy, like the fighter who's going to pose and give him the biggest challenge, right? He doesn't like to take shortcuts. He likes a challenge. But now Jaron Boots Ennis, this is interesting because everybody knows what happened, right? Last week, we watched Virgil Ortiz Jr. dismantle Erickson Lubin in 2 rounds. And then what happened right after that? Right after that, you had Jaron Boots Ennis with his promoter Eddie Hearns. They walk into the ring, and Jaron Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz Jr. They're looking at each other, and then of course, and I did a video on this. There was a lot of hype about the possibility of these 2 guys fighting one another. Right. Anyways, I got a little bit of a spin to talk about that as well too. A little bit of update on that. But now everyone's talking about the possibility of Terence Crawford taking on Jaron Boots Ennis. This is going to be an interesting fight, guys. And look, it could, if this happens, it will, not could, but it will be the biggest fight probably ever, or at least the biggest fight this year. I mean, you know what? It's hard to say the biggest fight because, I mean, we just witnessed Terence Crawford fight Canelo Alvarez. That was the biggest fight. Probably one of the biggest fights this era. But to see Jaron Boots Ennis, who is just at a whole different level, and then for him to fight Terence Crawford, that'll be unbelievable. That could be the fight of next year if it goes down, right? And so, I mean, the styles, both of these guys have such amazing fighting styles that it would make it so explosive. I mean, we're talking about big money, and we're talking about putting boxing right back on the map for everyone to just talk about and revel in, because I mean, the one thing that boxing was lacking for the last little while is really good fights. But lately, it's just been one blockbuster fight after another. So this is going to be really interesting, guys. And I got my eye on this. But I mean, Terence Bud Crawford taking on Jaron Boots Ennis. Like, that sounds unbelievable. Two elite switch hitters, both with killer instinct, both with, like, you know, nothing. Like, these guys are the kind of fighters that put it all on the line, right? All for nothing. They come in guns a-blazing. And guys, these are very strategic, tactical fighters. Their boxing IQs are definitely next level. And both of these guys are sitting right at the top of their division, right? This fight wouldn't just be big. It would be epic. It would be historic. Okay? So anyways, guys, look, I'm your host. I'm Shiraz. Welcome to Duality 7X. Here we cover all the latest trending stories when it comes to the world of MMA, UFC, WWE, and boxing. So if you live and breathe fight culture, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, because we've got a wild, wild one to talk about today. All right? Like, you have to understand, Terence Crawford came off probably one of the biggest fights of all time, taking on Canelo Alvarez, winning the undisputed super middleweight crown, right, of the world. And you know, you got to give this guy some credit. Everybody's always on Terence Crawford. What's he going to do? Who's he going to fight? Where is he going? Is he going to retire? Like, leave the guy alone. He just made history, everybody, right? Now, whether he makes the move up, whether he makes the move down, either way, it's going to make headline news, right? But I mean, including myself, the entire world wants to know who's next, or at least some clues, a hint as to who's potentially going to be next, right? And rumors are heating up, right? In the rumor mill, that Crawford might drop back down in weight. And people close to the scene are saying that there's a possibility he could target Jaron Boots Ennis. Imagine that, guys. Like, and if you've been following Boots, you know this dude is absolutely special, right? I mean, he's only 28 years old. He's undefeated. He's explosive, tactical. He is a precision boxer. And his IQ sense, his boxing IQ is definitely next level. And he's got that Philly grit, guys. I mean, he's ready to battle, and when he battles, he goes all in, right? And look, he just made a 154-pound debut. He stopped Usman Lima from Portugal in round number 1. You guys saw that fight, and now he's a WBA interim super welterweight champion of the world, right? His dad and trainer, Bozy Ennis, he recently said that a fight between Boots and Crawford could be one of the biggest fights in boxing as we know it. And honestly, he's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. Here's the thing. Both Crawford and Ennis, and Ennis, they can fight on the inside, all right? And on the outside. And they can switch stances, and they can get into that orthodox southpaw. Like, these guys can do it all. They can adjust mid-fight like it's nothing, and it won't even faze them. They won't even miss a beat. They both have the same fearless, all-action mentality. I'm going in, all or nothing. That's their kind of style. Right? The guy from Omaha, the guy from, that Philly grit. I mean, these guys can do it all. And the amazing thing about these fighters, they can sell tickets. I mean, can you imagine the marketing buzz behind this? Man, Crawford's the old lion, okay? And he's the pound for pound king of the world right now. He's been proven under such pressure, especially fighting a guy like Canelo Alvarez, right? And then you got Jaron Boots Ennis, who's like that up-and-coming tiger. He's just hungry. He's just looking to take that crown, right? And if they meet, guys, I'll say this again. This won't just be a fight. This is going to be a generational collision that everyone's going to be talking about for many, many years to come. And so if Crawford does actually move back down, and he faces Jaron Boots Ennis, say next year, obviously it's going to be next year. I mean, this could be one of the most defining moments that changed the direction, potentially changes the direction of boxing completely. I mean, just imagine the hype. Two Americans, both elite tacticians, right? Like, boxing science is their game, right? And just, I mean, going toe to toe, not just for the money, but the money is going to be a bonus, but really for legacy. And if Boot wins, we're talking about a full-on torch passing moment. And if Crawford wins, again, man, I mean, we might just have to call him the greatest, right, of this generation, no debate, period. Signed, sealed, and delivered, GOAT territory. I mean, either of these fighters are definitely getting into GOAT territory if this fight actually goes down. So if Crawford is chasing legacy fights, this is it. This is the fight that he wants, right? And I mean, Boots is kind of like, look, there's, ever since that little, like that little encounter in the ring after the Ortiz fight, everybody's talking about, like, nobody was even talking about Erickson Lubin anymore, all right? And how Virgil Ortiz Jr. was able to dismantle him in 2 rounds. Everybody was talking about the little face-to-face encounter between Ortiz Jr. and Jaron Boots Ennis. And then there was talks about how Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, he wants to protect his fighter. And as much as everybody wants to see that fight, they're not going to do that fight. They're actually looking to fight Errol Spence Jr. instead. But Dazn Boxing doesn't want that fight. They don't want that fight. They already said, we're not interested. And I'll do a little video on that next time around. I don't want to give it all away here, but I mean, that's bottom line. That's what it is. They don't want that fight. What they want to see is they want to see Jaron Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz Jr. in the ring. Okay? Now, if Crawford wants to get into the mix of a possible fight between Jaron Boots Ennis, I'm pretty sure Dazn will eat that all up. I mean, every day, all day, any day. Okay. And I mean, look, if Crawford's willing to meet him halfway on weight, I mean, we could see a super fight that honestly rivals the magnitude of a Mayweather versus Canelo, or even like Errol Spence Jr. versus Crawford. Can you imagine? Just imagine, guys, like how big of a fight this is going to be. But if it doesn't happen, and if you see Jaron Boots Ennis taking on Virgil Ortiz Jr., I'll be just as happy, guys. That's going to be an incredible fight as well, too. Personally, I think the Crawford versus Ennis is the fight that boxing needs right now. Realistically, I see Jaron Boots Ennis taking on Virgil Ortiz Jr. I see that more of a realistic fight than Jaron taking on Terence right now. Okay, 2 master level fighters, guys, with contrasting hunger. Their styles, as I told you guys, these guys are at the top of their game. All right, one will be fighting for his legacy, and the other just fighting to build one, to start one, and he's already started to build a foundation, and now it's just a matter of putting up that structure, and that's exactly what Jaron Boots Ennis is trying to do. He's trying to build his house and show to the world that his name is going to live on in infamy. A guy who, honestly, a lot of people weren't even talking about, but the way he dismantled Usman Lima, all right, I remember watching that fight, and this young fighter from Portugal looked so calm, collected. I was like, I don't know. There's something about this guy's demeanor. He's just like scary. But no, Jaron just came in there and it was all business. All business within 1 round. Okay? And then last week, I see Virgil Ortiz Jr. going in with Erickson Lubin, who looked incredible, by the way. And Virgil Ortiz Jr. took him out in 2 rounds. So guys, the competition is heating up. Hamza Shiraz takes out Edgar Berlanga. Like, there are so many good, talented fighters. You got Benavidez, you've got Mbili. I mean, it goes on and on and on. It doesn't stop. Errol Spence Jr. is there. I mean, guys, there are so many good fighters, right? So, I mean, whether this is the fight that boxing needs right now, that's my opinion. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But timing is everything. Crawford is 38, nearing 39, and Boots is just entering his prime, guys. Right? 10 years younger. So if it's ever gonna happen, it's gotta happen right away. It's gotta happen soon. And if it's gonna happen, it has to happen probably next year. So I don't know what you guys think. Is Crawford versus Boots the fight to make it in 2026? Or should Crawford stay at 168 and defend his undisputed crown at that weight division? Right? Going down to 154, dropping 14 pounds, that's a lot on a fighter, right? Anyways, drop your thoughts and comments below. I want to hear from all of you guys. I want to hear what everyone has to say. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, please smash the like and subscribe here on Duality 7X. Join us for more fight talk, predictions, and updates from the world of combat sports. And until next time, guys, I'm Shiraz. I will catch you guys on the next round.